Time to make room for the baby. This is my inspo pick. If you live in a Cape Cod or similar house, you know all about not having any storage and these little doors that house a bunch of attic space behind it. I know I didn't want to build a dresser from scratch, so I went to IKEA and got this perfect base dresser that will work so well in the wall. I recruited my dad to help because not only does he have the brains, but he is retired and, why wouldn't he want to hang out with his daughter? Our starting point was based off of where a stud was, which was 17 inches in, so we did that on both sides. We then grabbed our Sawzall and went through, and then we used a regular handsaw to cut through the studs, took off all of the baseboards and the door. Surprisingly, the plaster walls weren't too bad to cut through or take apart. It does help to cut it into smaller pieces because it's a lot otherwise, and it's heavy. Took a nice break and had our electrician come to update the electricity because it was so old. After that was taken care of, just look at the space, there's so much of it. But anyways, we got working on the base. We did 2x4 stacked on top of each other with a 1x3. So we just screwed this in basically and then added plywood on top for the dresser to sit on top of. If you decide to do something similar, a lot of this is just very custom to your own space. The base doesn't need to be the entire bottom of the dresser either. It's just whatever covers most of it as long as it is stable. And here you can see our electricity coming out the back, and then we put a back support so the dresser doesn't fall into the wall basically. This side we had to add a stud because the stud was further in, but since we wanted it even on both sides, we ended it both at 17 inches and then just added that stud, if that makes sense. I don't know. Since the dresser is pine, we used pine for everything else. On the sides we went with a 1x12 board. Our height is just under 4 feet and the length from end to end is just under 8 feet, which I highly recommend so you're not buying stuff in increments longer than 8 feet. Also, so much of our time was just spent of us talking about what we're doing. It does take a while and it looks a lot easier in this video, but it does take time. But it's so worth it. Once that back piece of wood was in, it was actually starting to look more normal and finally like it's supposed to. I know this is a lot of information. Let me know if you have questions. Come back for part 2 in a few days to see the final reveal.